Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I am your disheveled goblin host Daniel Greene, and for the first time in a minute we're going to be starting a new series here on the channel, and one that I have been formulating in my brain for quite some time. As you know, I've tried and failed to do a review of an indie book every single month. Unfortunately, my schedule has just gotten so absolutely insane that my own personal reading habits are largely suffering. Outside of One Piece and writing, I'm not able to get a whole lot done, let alone specifically indie books. But I want to continue to give back to the indie community because indie fantasy authors are largely the lifeblood of new and innovative entries for this genre. It means a lot to me to help these people get a spotlight. So, in collaboration with the fantastic author Rob J. Hayes, whose Mortal Technique series is one of the most underappreciated fantasy series ongoing currently, in my opinion, I'm going to be doing a once-a-month deep dive into upcoming indie releases. And the exciting part for you all is you get to watch this video and tell me how you'd like me to improve, what you'd like this series to focus more and less on. Do you want deeper dives into each individual book coming up, or the authors themselves? Maybe you want to include things like cover artists. Let me know in the comments down below. That's how I will change and mold this series into exactly what audiences are craving, because I know there's a lot of fantasy readers out there who want to read more indie stuff. It's just hard to find it sometimes, and so I'm trying to bridge that gap. Again, just let me know what you're looking for, and I promise I'll change and shape this series to be the best it possibly can, with a disheveled goblin hosting it, and a guy who will show you the insides of his eye in his marketing video for his book launch. Honestly, I did that because I was so tired of so many people telling me different ways I had to market my book that I just decided, like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to show them the insides of my eyeballs because I have this photo, and if they want to buy my book, they want to buy my book. I'm not doing some big campaign. I can't do that. I'm not that guy. So if you want to buy it, there it is. That's my book. Fart noise too. Marketed. But let's go ahead and kick off this list by just straight up going through Rob J. Hayes' most recent blog post and talking about what these fantasy books are and when they're going to be released, as well as who wrote them. That's really what I'm going to focus on for this first version, as well as the synopsis, because, you know, otherwise it's just like a book is coming out. You don't know what, though. On October 26th, so already out, we have A Land of Never After, Curse of Never, #1, by R.L. Davenor. All my life, I've dreamed of the seas, mermaids, stormy skies, daring adventures, pirates. It was a little wonder I sprinted to the docks the moment I left the orphanage. Eager to begin my new life, I searched for a ship that would have me, and found a thief instead. I chased the bastard. Ooh! There's a chase. You're getting it. You're getting going. Anything that's got blue and gold tones, I'm a fan of. I'm a sucker for that aesthetic. Good cover. And October 29th, yesterday, we saw the release of the indie book Rebel's Creed by some hack fraud who's not worth your time. Screw this book. Don't get it. Gross. Ugh. November 1st, we are getting The Lament of Death by Maria Vermisal. So many people's names, and I'm dyslexic as shit.
Vermisoglu.
That didn't help at all! Maria Vermisoglu. That was what the computer told me it was. My name is Kiara, and I am a banshee. Oh my god! We're getting a book from a banshee perspective? That's cool, okay. My job, bringing the dead to the other side. I expected to become a healer, but fate bestowed me with a curse. 'Cause yeah, being a banshee is a curse. Okay, we're getting a punk vibe from a banshee story. I'm down for that. And that's The Lament of Death. Lament of Death. That sounds like a ballad of some kind. Band name. Dibs. Calling it. No, it's a book title. I can't call it. Damn. Also on November 1st, we're getting Tower Under, The System Apocalypse Australia, #1, by Tao Wong and KT Hana. What's worse than Australian wildlife? Mutated Australian wildlife. Oh, we're getting some... I love me some schlock. Yeah. That's not an insult. People hear schlock and think Independence Day is schlock, but it's amazing and beautiful. And so look at this cover. It's got a dragon. Is it a venomous kangaroo dragon? I'm enticed. And of course, Will Wicht. You're successful enough. You're Will White. Will Wicht, I don't know. But Reaper. It's the Cradle #10. And the pitch is, Sacred Valley has been saved. At least what's left of it. With his home finally secure. Okay, this is spoilers for me for the series. I can't read this. This is sad. I do want to continue. God. Well, I can say that I love the purple. Purple, especially got like a black hole in the middle of it. Suck me in, Will. Oh, wow. Then on November 3rd, we are getting The Mercenary and the Mage complete series by Selena R. Gonzalez. Mercenary turned Lord Regulus and the Mage in hiding Adelaide, fantasy name, struggle to make a relationship work despite social disapproval and a sorcerer bent on destruction and conquest. Even if he has to go through Regulus and Adelaide to achieve his goal. This one's confusing me slightly, but I love the fact that you're putting out a full series at once. That's ballsy. Oh, wow. I was so nervous I put out like a prologue as a book just so I could get some feedback on mass. You're going straight up like, here I am. On November 4th, we're getting Mortal Secrets, Realms Unleashed, Red Angel by Isa Medina. Broke, blacklisted, and keeping secrets. The deadly kind. Name, Anna Holt. Occupation, Demon Vermin Hunter. What? Can I have that job? Status in the human magic community, rock bottom, basement level. On November 5th, we are getting Naya's Wish, Elizabeth and Edvard's World by Astrid Vijay. A Naid makes an impossible wish, sending a ripple of effect through the land and binding to her magic the people of the nearby mill and the village beyond. Unexpected twists of fate tie Naia to Hilda, the miller's unhappy wife, and Amina, the baker's youngest daughter. I get the feeling this is going to have some steam to it. On November 5th, we are getting A Bitter Drink by Azalea Forest. Oh, that's a cool name. As the center of trade for the 4 major races, Bisia is the perfect city for a Dashid, a young race of plantfolk like Rowan, to experience whatever his heart desires. And his position as ambassador for the Daislisha makes affording those desires easy. I just realized this series is going to be everyone laughing at me trying to pronounce fantasy things. Wonderful. But when he overhears a plot of treason against his people, all of that could end. I think this author's going to go dark. I'm just calling it here. On November 5th, we are getting Gold Glamour's Ghost by Neil Adam Ray. And okay, love the alliteration. A legendary gunslinger returns, bringing his mythic revolvers and a host of eldritch magic back to the Wild West. On November 5th, we are getting Nox! The Dark Between, number 2, by Ray Else. The clans, covens, and courts will be unified once the race that was cloven is too. Jess escaped the Troidia Penitentiary and slew her uncle Lorenzo. Spoilers for book 1, apparently. The Remus Alpha. Although she is free, she isn't at peace. Girl, that dress. That's a hell of a dress. On November 11th, we are getting Temple Captain, Power Ascending number 3 by Paul J. Bennett. Should I avoid reading the synopsis if it's a sequel so I don't spoil the previous ones you might want to look for? I'm going to do that. I'm going to avoid it if it's a sequel. I think that might be a good idea. She's exactly where she's meant to be. Now, if she only knew why. Well, it's book 3. I'd hope you'd have some kind of idea, but I'm sure within the text this makes complete sense. On November 16th, though, we're getting The Relics of Ilion by Catherine Knowles. It's epic fantasy and sword and sorcery. And the stillness of power wakes. Carlin is a kingdom where the power of resonance has long been bound to a single bloodline, a single all-powerful ruler. Now, for the first time in centuries, the magic has been divided. Ooh, epic magic war, and it looks like magic stones on your cover. What are you doing with that stone? You gonna crush it? You gonna snort it? Every time there's someone who's like, I got a magic rock, I'm like, what if I ate it? What would happen? Would I pass? I don't know. Also on November 16th, we are getting Iron. I love me a confident, simple title. The Queen and the Assassin, number 1, so that's the series name, by Lassetti Marshall. It's romantic fantasy, and it's got a red-headed queen, it looks like on the cover, judging by the red hair and crown. And we have a breakdown of 3 different people: the Queen, the Assassin, and a dangerous alliance. I think the Queen might be into the Assassin. The 18th of November with Dagger and Song, Curse of the Kreen Queen number 2 by Helen Schurer. An empty crown, a perilous journey. Will she answer when darkness calls? Ah! Is this a villain? If this is a villain story, consider me tantalized. Against all odds, Rose survived the Howling Queen's tournament, but now something far deadlier awaits her. A formidable quest for the 3 magic birthstones of Sordariel. So okay, what I said before still applies. What if I ate them? I would like a canonical response from the author. The Sorcerer's Stone, I was like, I'll swallow it. On the 19th of November, we are getting Dawn of the Sphere Saga number 2 by J.S. Willis. Thousands of years ago, magic ruled their land. Like, sentient magic or people using, I guess those are one and the same. Maybe it'll clarify if I continue reading. When the mightiest among them rise up, will they bring peace or rain down destruction? And this looks like it's sci-fantasy. Like, those look like sci-fi uniform. Look at the crotch guard. That's a practical uniform. Every time armor's lacking in the crotch, I'm like, I can just kick you in the balls. This is practical armor. Or in the cooch. I don't discriminate. I will kick anyone in their private parts if it's a life or death situation and, they're exposed. On November 23rd, we are getting the Trials of Ascension, the Frostmark Chronicles number 2. With, wow, that is an energetic, interesting cover. It's epic fantasy, sword and sorcery, and YA. Salvation does not come without sacrifice. Otolia will never forget the betrayer's blade slicing across her throat. Oh my god! Nor will she forgive. Yes, Queen, don't forgive. Take his ass to court. Trapped by wheels in the underworld of Noé, she is further from Waclaw and fantasy word than ever. The Trials of Ascension are Otalia's only hope to escape her father's grasp. But is she ready to pay the price of immortality? That's interesting. And this may be my favorite cover of the day. I really like this cover. On November 23rd, we will also be getting the Menchot Loop audiobook by Lorne Ryborn. This is a lot of genre type. Epic fantasy, urban fantasy, grimdark, sci-fantasy, progression / cultivation fantasy. We are getting into the specifics here. Ian Duna thought he was powerless. Okay, so we're going with the he was powerless and now he's not guy. Got it. That's a thing that happens quite a bit. It's a good genre. He's not alone. Only a small percent of the population have high enough affinities to perform magic. But in the eyes of his father's gifted family, Ian's impotence is a disgrace. Yeah, fuck you, Ian. And the stain of his mother's common blood. Oh, now I'm on his side. Damn it. On November 25th, we are getting The Hunted, Nathaniel Rain, number 2 by Mike Morris. Meet Nathaniel Rain. Once he was a war hero. Now he has a price on his head. Dude, same. And on November 30th, my birthday, we are getting The Raven's Word, the Citadel .5, so this looks like a prequel, by Rowena Andrews. We have Fate belongs to the gods. They weave it, sing it, harvest it. Raven was born between life and death, free of the weave of fate. She dreams of distant places and grand deeds, far from the eyes of the gods that she refuses to believe in. That's great. That is a wonderful pitch because it immediately makes me think of like a god being like, hey, could you? And then there's someone who's just like, no! But that looks great, and I love your cover too. That is a really standout cover. Good job. But those are the upcoming indie releases that Rob has collected, and I am now basically advertising to you, but it's an advertisement like a billion of you have asked me to do, so I don't know. Let me know what you think of this video series. Let me know in the comments down below. Seriously, I want to transform this from this just me reading a list into something more engaging and audience inclusive and intensive. Hey, I'm gonna get up on the mic so it sounds interesting. Hey there. Did you check out my book though? Check out my book, Rebels Creed, that came out this month, or any of these books that tantalized your tatas in the description down below, and like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here, and have a good one, y'all. Peace.